What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about getting rich in America, the possibilities, the things that you need to do, and this is why you should watch this video from the beginning to the end. All right, so before we have this conversation, we need to identify what is rich, and this is my identification. Rich is an income of $250,000 a year or more. That puts you in the rich. Now, why does that put you in the area of rich? I know you could live in New York, and I know you could live in California off 250. But for most of the people in America, 250,000 is a great lifestyle. It allows you to pay taxes, it allows you to live well, and it gives you a tremendous amount of money to invest in a business or real estate or the stock market. So that's why we go ahead and do the classification of $250,000 a year it's the beginning of being rich. Now, what is rich? Rich is a high level of income that you have to work for. Now, what is wealthy? Wealthy is having assets of 5 million or more, income producing assets of 5 million or more. So your assets do the work, because if you're getting 10% off 5 million, that's 500,000. If you're getting 20% off of 5 million, that's $1 million a year. So those are the things, and we need to have that conversation before we talk about how to get rich, because you need to know where you're going, so when you get there, you know that you have arrived. And one of the things that I find out is a lot of people feel that there's a secret group of billionaires that have a meeting and they determine how to keep you poor. They don't want you to have any money. They don't want you to invest. They want you to stay poor. And every time I hear that, what comes to mind is the complete absence of personal accountability. You want to start a business, you want to set up a holding company, an operating company, you want to get yourself some business credit, you want to learn how to run a business, you want to start your first online business. If you want to do that, and congratulations to you for being a person that wants more out of life, for being that person that's ready to sit down, do the work so your future can be brighter. I got something for you. Go below and enter into the Corporate Citizen Playbook, where we teach you all of that plus a lot more, because you are not a normal, regular person. You want more out of life. You want to do more. You want to be more. You want to have more. And congratulations to you. So this link is below. Go ahead and check out this video, and then go ahead and enroll in the Corporate Citizen Playbook, where I teach you some things that you cannot Google. Can't Google it. Can't Google it at all. Personally, I don't think there's a group of secret millionaires sitting around planning on how to keep me poor. I actually have the good fortune to know quite a few well-off people and rich people, and their primary concern are themselves and their family. That's what they think about. They don't even think about you. They don't even know who you are. So I consistently see this messaging put out in social media. They want to keep you poor. They don't want you to have any money. Or video titles, secrets the rich don't want you to know. It's like, really? Are you that damn stupid? I mean, seriously, if you're sitting around thinking that people who don't know you, never heard of you, are actively plotting to keep you poor, more than likely you're going to be poor for the rest of your life. Just saying. So how do we go ahead and get rich? Now, rich is you're earning your money, you're earning your income. The fastest way to get rich is to start a business. Once you start a business, this opens up the door for you to become wealthy. This opens up the door for you to actually get into, because with the 250,000 in most locales will move you to that top 10%, that 10% of income earners in your city. And if you're in the top 10%, it's way easier to go from the top 10% to the 1% much, much easier than it is to go from the bottom of the pole up to the 1%. That's a very hard climb. And typically that's going to be a generational thing. That's going to be things that your family has to do. I have a friend who has a son, and his son went to Georgia Tech and became this computer data engineer person. And he started working for Apple at $200K right out of school. Now, this is what's funny about this individual. When his father dies, he will become a millionaire, but based upon the things I have seen and the way that he has been groomed, he will become a millionaire long before his father passes. And this is part of the training that we have to get into. You have to get out of this mindset that people are trying to keep you poor, the system's against you, you can't succeed, because here's the thing. For you to have that thought process, for you to think like that, you are your own worst enemy. You're your own worst enemy. Because I, at one point in my life, used to have similar thoughts. And when I had those thoughts, guess what? I was a loser. My life didn't go well. Everything was a struggle. I made many bad financial decisions. It was horrible because I was thinking like a loser. And because I was thinking like a loser, it manifested itself as me acting, behaving, and living like a loser. And once I got rid of those thoughts, and I remember years ago, I was in this boarding house and I was listening to Earl Nightingale. And then that was the day before I got laid off. And this is very, very interesting. It's really, really, really interesting. I had a plan because I had been working on a plan. And when I got laid off, the guy said, I can give you 2 more weeks. And I said, no, I'll just go home and figure it out. And that is the first time in my life that I actually figured some stuff out. And I went home and I took out a notepad and a pen and I began to write down a plan. And my plan was to go ahead and craft a personal resume for every job I was applying. And what I did is I came up with my own reference. Do you know, I don't know if this would work today because this was before technology and stuff, but they only asked me 2 questions. Did he work for you and would you hire him again? That was my reference call. And that started the process, the matriculation of me getting rich. I started off a rent-a-crate, $38,500. Adjusted for inflation, that's like a $60,000 job today. And then I went to Panel Systems where they paid me $60,000, which is like $100,000 a year job. And then I went to Business Environment where I was a commissioned salesperson making 6 figures. And that's the area that I started to become rich. Not a rent-a-crate, not Panel Systems, but Business Environments, the 6-figure job in my own business. And my own business by itself put me in that $250,000 category, which gave me the seed money to get into my own furniture business, the storage auction business, the online publishing business, the content create business. Because see, this is one of the things you guys have got to understand. And like, I have a hate relationship, not a love-hate relationship. You shouldn't say no money. All right. If I was like these people investing all my money and never having access to cash, I wouldn't have been able to do the things I've been able to do. So you want to get to that 250 because that opens up the door for so many positive and wonderful things to happen. And like, once again, I see this on YouTube. I see there's this commercial where I don't want to start a business. I want to be a high ticket closer and I can make more money as a closer. And I'm just sitting here. All right, I've been around for a long, long time. There is no way once my business is seasoned. In the beginning, this could be true. My employees could be making more money than I am because the money that the business makes goes to pay the employees. But if I've got a seasoned business, there's no way in hell someone working for me in the sales position is going to make more money than me. It ain't happening. It's just not happening. Because I'm just sitting there like, give you an example. When I was in business environments, this was the deal. The salespeople got 50% of the deal. So if the profit part of the deal, like we did a $400,000 deal and the profit part of the deal was $100K. That meant 50,000 went to the owner of the company and 50,000 went to me. So let's go ahead and just do the math. So there was like 7 salespeople, and let's say all 7 salespeople had $100,000 deal. Okay, so that's 700,000. I got 50,000. All other salespeople got 50,000. The owner of the business got 350,000. He got 7 times more money than any of us salespeople. So I hear this, I can make more money as a high ticket closer than most business owners. And I'm just sitting there like, really? Where they do that at? Because I've been in sales. I've been in, I would say the commercial furniture business was a high ticket sales business. And there was no way that the salespeople were going to make more money than the business owner. There was no way. And this is one of the things, this is one of the lies. I'm going to call it an internet lie. Because when you're the owner and you're the king and you're controlling stuff and you're running stuff a certain way, it's going to be very, very different for you as you set up and begin to build out your corporate empire. It's going to be very, very different. And by starting a business, and once again, I sell something called the Corporate Citizen Playbook, teach you how to set up a holding company, teach you how to set up an operating company, teach you how to set up all this other stuff. That's the easy part of the business. Setting that up, that's easy. The hard part comes into teaching you the things that you need to do to get your business to make money. That's where it gets hard. And that's where a lot of people start fading away. Because, I'll share a story with you. Years and years ago, when I was in the storage auction business, I used to advertise heavily on Craigslist. 100 ads a day. I did that for about 6-7 years. 100 ads a day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes I would do ads on the weekends. And writing ads was not fun. It wasn't hot. It wasn't lit. It just writing ads. But I forced myself to consistently write ads, because when I wrote ads and I put my stuff out there, we made sales. It wasn't a very sexy part of business. It wasn't like, hey, let me teach you how to run Craigslist ads. No, but it made us a lot of money. And this is the thing you have to understand. There's a lot of parts to business that are not sexy, but they need to be done. Your marketing, your branding, your sales, all this. It's some of the, I remember one night I was writing ads and I was just kind of sick and tired of writing ads. And I just stopped writing ads for about 2 weeks. Our sales went way down. And that was a lesson for me. It's like, whether I felt like it or not, those ads need to be written. Those ads need to be put out. And when I got that through my thick skull, our sales went back to where they were. And I never actually took another break like that again until actually we were out of the business once I stopped writing those Craigslist ads. So I know that I'm supposed to be sexy and lit and hot, but it's the most boring things in business that will make you the most money. The most boring things in business that will open up the doors for you to make the most money. It is the most boring things in business that will dramatically shift your perspective in business. And these things have to be consistently done. And this is the thing, everybody wants to be in an exciting business. Okay, some of the most boringest businesses in the world, cleaning business, laundry, they make millions year after year after year after year. But you want to be in the sexy, hot, lit business like Toro. And this is interesting because I used to be in the car rental business and I found it to be one of the most hassle-laden businesses I've ever been in. and I had 31 cars, and I see all these businesses now where they're talking about, I'm seeing videos, it's like, oh, I had 2 cars that were totally totaled because they were wrecked. When I was in the car rental business, I wasn't seeing videos like that. People weren't being that honest, because here's the thing: you get in the car rental business. I was renting cars through Hire Car, not Toro. My Toro business never really took off because I was so far from the airport. But one of the things that I had was a very high damage rate, very, very high, like 35%. So that meant if I had 100 cars, that I would be dealing with 30 to 35 wrecked cars at any given time. That was just too much for me. It was just too much. And that's one of the things you have to understand about, like, you know, for some people, Turo, Airbnb, these may be great businesses for them. But for me, as a seasoned business person that has made money in several businesses, I look at the hassle factor, and the hassle factor was just too high for me. But once again, what I'm trying to say is, if you start a business, there's going to be lots of parts to the business that will not be exciting, but they need to be done. And if you're not going to do them, you need to hire someone that's going to make sure that these things get done. Because if they don't get done, your business doesn't move forward. And I feel that the average person could start a successful business if they're willing to do the work. That's the key. They're willing to do the work. If you're not willing to do the work, it's going to be really, really hard for you to make money in business. It's going to be a struggle because, you know, sales, marketing, these are things that have to be done. And everybody wants to be like a content creator. And be sure you subscribe, because I'm going to start talking about internet businesses. There's a ton of internet businesses, and I'm going to start talking about those and what's a good business. Because, you know, for you, the way that I think about it, it really depends upon your personality. It really depends upon what drives you from a personal standpoint in business. That's going to be the key operator part of the business. What, from a personality standpoint, works for you in business? That's going to be the driver. That's going to be the magical ingredient. Because what I do now, I could be 80 years old and do this, because it doesn't take any physical work. It's not a physical, it's an intellectual thing. And, you know, there are many, many things. And this is what I teach in my program, where you have to get on the phone before we let you in, because it's a lot of work and we want to make sure that we get the right people. And once again, thank you. This is a brand new channel. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for coming here. Really appreciate that. And as I said in the earlier video, if you want to work with me, there's a cost. And once again, if you don't want to pay that cost, that's perfectly fine. But don't be leaving negative comments because I don't want to work with you for free. And let's have that conversation. Let's say your job told you to come in and work for free. How would that go down for you? You'd be hotter than a nest full of hornets. You'd be hot. What do you mean you want me to come to work and not get paid? But for some reason, because this is the internet, there are many people who want me to work with them. Or my favorite thing, do you offer a mentorship? Anything that I offer is going to be paid. And a lot of people are looking for that free 99. And once again, it doesn't exist here. Speaking of paid, if you want to be a corporate citizen, go below, check out the Corporate Citizen Playbook. We teach you how to set up a holding company the correct way, teach you how to set up an operating company, teach you how to set up in corporate banking, teach you how to start a company. The most important thing, teach you how to start an internet business and walk you down a path of doing these things so you can become financially successful. And once you're fully seasoned and trained, we teach you, give you the skills where you can make 6 figures for the rest of your life. Hit that link below. All right, so that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you heard me. I will see you in the next one.